Mates, welcome to Great Mates. My name's Cade.
My name's Troy.
And if you know that intro, you know, but if you don't, welcome.
Yeah, that's all we'll say.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Troy and I, we do have a little bit of a history together. We used to host the Comic Confidential podcast many moons ago.
Many moons ago.
And we figured, you know what? Let's get back into the sack.
I don't know if that's a term.
I don't know. As soon as it started to come out of my mouth,
I think you're looking for saddle. Let's get back in the saddle.
Back in the saddle?
Yeah.
But if you do want to get back in the sack,
I'll do that too.
We can do that.
That's fine. No problems at all. Yeah, so we did have the Comic Confidential podcast, 200 fantastic episodes. But times have changed.
Times have changed.
Hasn't it?
Yeah. We no longer like those movies.
No.
At all. We hate nerd culture and we hate everything about it. So today...
No, we don't. just to be clear.
We're talking about some nerd culture stuff.
We are. Because what better way to start off a brand new show than with stuff that we've spoken about a million times before?
Absolutely. You know, looking back at it, we would have spoken about that type of world for hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been a dormant volcano.
Oh, you're about to erupt.
I'm about to blow, baby.
That's why you want to get back in the sack.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, today we're going to talk about a couple of things that's kind of been happening recently, I guess, in that world. Something that's like very near and dear to Troy and I's hearts is there's a new Superman movie.
There is a new Superman movie coming.
Yeah, and I was very conflicted.
Yes.
When this kind of got announced, because many moons ago we had the Black Adam movie. You know, that fantastic.
That was great. I watched it on a plane.
Did you?
Shouldn't have even done that.
Yeah. Okay. I actually didn't mind it too much.
Really?
To be fair.
Okay.
You know, it's fine.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is no worse than anything that Marvel's kind of brought out in the last 5 years.
I could go back, I think, to the time years ago, literal years, probably a decade plus ago, when The Rock was first cast as Black Adam, or first announced that he was going to be playing Black Adam in the DC, and I said train wreck. I didn't want it to be a train wreck, but I said train wreck. Yeah. And I just want to say, I was right.
I don't know.
Rightish.
I think
right adjacent.
No way. I think he did it pretty good. I think he played The Rock perfectly.
He did.
To be fair, The Rock is Black Adam, essentially. Super ego-driven.
Or is Black Adam The Rock?
You know, you can never tell these days.
That's right.
He's come full circle.
The only time I know he's not Black Adam is when he's wearing like a jungle safari shirt.
That's
the only time I know he's not Black Adam.
That's when he's The Rock.
That's when he's The Rock playing a person in the jungle. Yeah.
He's very typecast, isn't he?
Very much so.
I can imagine the wardrobe department is like totally settled because it's like, go borrow the outfit from Jungle Cruise or Jumanji or whatever.
Yeah. Or Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, he really is in a lot of jungle-based movies.
He loves the jungle.
That is so fucking weird.
Yeah. It is weird.
That is like bizarre to be so typecast in a single role.
And until you look at his ability to act and then you go,
makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. Here's a guy who can just be like an absolute meathead with barely enough talent to read his lines.
Yeah. Also, we need him to be profoundly bald.
Yeah.
The Rock.
Do you think he's actually... Because remember back when he was a wrestler.
If he's not bald...
He had a flat top, basically.
If he's not bald and he shaves his head like that, that's incredibly disrespectful to actual bald people.
It's rude.
Like myself.
Yeah, me too.
It's rude. But I think if you look back over the years when he was in the WWE, that hairline was receding faster than LeBron's.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I was never really a fan of WWE, but I see enough WWE in today's kind of, like reels and shit like that.
Yeah.
That I swear I'm seeing like guys who are 60 years old from like, not like just the last generation, but the generation before still wrestling out there.
No, those guys are 27. It's just steroids.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just what the steroids do. No, you're right. There's like, and I don't follow it anymore. I'm a fully grown adult male. So unfortunately, my days of watching professional wrestling are over. But there are a lot of guys that I'm aware of that is still. John Cena is still, he still gets amongst it. I'm pretty sure Chris Jericho, if you even know who that is.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still wrestling, but he was wrestling up until fairly recently. And so there's still guys like that are out there that are still trying to give it a go.
Well,
which credit to them as far as what they put their bodies through, like nuts.
I can't believe it, because I swear the performances are way more acrobatical than what they ever used to be.
Oh yeah.
To kind of give these guys the credit that they need, because man, these guys have to be in like peak physical condition to do what they do. And I saw something, I think it was Logan Paul. He's like a wrestler now.
Oh, probably.
But this dude, he's like ripped as they get.
Yeah.
He's young. So he's like fucking basically flying over the ring and shit like that. And this is what I saw. It was John Cena came and like rescued him in whatever the fucking story was.
Rescued him?
Yeah, it was so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's like never in my life would I have ever thought I'd see John Cena. By the way, he was pasty as fuck.
Was he?
Yeah, he didn't obviously have time to put the tan on.
Yeah.
And dude came out transparent.
Well, it is John Cena. He's basically, you can't see him anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So it makes sense for the character.
That makes way more sense, yeah. And he was with Logan Paul, and I was like, holy shit, this shouldn't be happening. This feels like this is two universes colliding.
Yeah.
It's a WWE multiverse.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, credit to the WWE for still being as popular as it is, like, for decades. Ever since the 90s, with the Attitude Era and stuff like that, it's still maintained its popularity now. And yeah, I mean, they can bring in people that have like these, like they're bringing like Logan Pauls. They've got like Ronda Rousey, came in from the UFC and stuff like that. There are like a ton of people that are coming in because they know that that's where the money can be made. And yeah, because it's such a big platform. It's crazy that, it's still as popular as it is, though. Yeah,
it's insane. And I think Netflix bought the rights to it.
Yeah, if they haven't bought all the rights, they've definitely got like the streaming rights for sure. Because there's a ton of it on there.
It's insane.
But I don't really know how that works because again, I don't watch it now. But like, I'm assuming that they stream it live. Yeah. And you can watch it live and then watch replays.
So you can now watch like live events on Netflix.
I guess similar to how like KO would do cricket or something, or the UFC Fight Pass does UFC, etc. Yeah, okay, interesting.
I remember the first big event that they did was the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. And man, like I don't know if their servers were up for it or not, but I swear I was watching like 4 pixels hit each other. Yeah, and like it was terrible. Well, it was honestly terrible.
Would have been better than the fight itself anyway, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That was absolutely dog shit. But you know what?
It was dog shit, but
everyone made lots of money.
Credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Everybody made a lot of money off the backs of suckers.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's you quickly realize Mike Tyson is an old man.
Yeah.
2 seconds into that ring.
Yeah, because he is an old man.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter that he's Mike Tyson.
Exactly.
The guy is still in his 50s.
Yeah. And to be fair, like...
Or is he pushing 60?
Probably? I think he's pushing 60 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure of it. Do a quick Google.
Oh, lucky I've got this here.
Yeah, we're going to find out how old Mike Tyson is currently.
He's 58 now.
58, okay, yeah.
So he would have been 57.
Yeah.
Say.
So, no, that's a good effort from a bloke that old going up against someone basically in his 20s. I swear, I would say that Jake Paul would be 22, 23.
What? No. He's like 27, 28.
No, I don't think he'll be that old.
28 years old.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. But still, that's not old compared to a 58-year-old man.
Exactly.
You're basically doubling your age.
Yeah.
And you haven't quite hit it yet, which is crazy. But again, credit where credit is due. I also want to go back on my comments about being a fully grown adult male and not watching wrestling anymore. I feel like that's kind of disparaging to people that still watch wrestling. That's not what I meant. It just means that like I don't have time anymore to like I have other things that I watch instead.
I know you have the time to watch it. You just choose not to.
Yeah, I just choose not to because there are other things that I could watch.
Okay.
Like real sports.
Okay.
Again, I'm kidding.
What you're doing.
I'm kidding.
Is you're actually just watching AI generated videos.
That is exactly what I'm doing.
And Man, do you remember when AI videos came out? I swear it was the number one video for AI videos was like that
The Will Smith eating spaghetti?
Spaghetti,
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember people's minds were fucking blown by it. It was like, holy shit, this was like just legit made from nothing.
Yeah.
And today it's like
Also, it looked wild.
it did
It looked
wild.
like a fever dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like a bad trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, man, the AI is seriously insane.
Oh, it's scary good now.
It
And
is
that's
very good.
that's a very short time later.
Yeah.
Like if you think about the time from the time that first Will Smith clip dropped to, the Yetis live streaming
Yeah.
things that they're doing in the jungle or whatever.
That's exactly where I was going to go with this. Is like the AI videos that I'm seeing at the moment are the Bigfoot and the things like that.
Yeah.
And they are just so unbelievably good.
Yeah.
You just think this would have taken hundreds and hundreds of hours and potentially thousands of people if you actually got that animated.
Yeah.
And it looks so incredible. I swear movie companies are going to be shitting their pants.
Oh yeah, big
at the
time.
moment, because if that's what is being possible with dudes at home using like this Google AI video generator that costs, I think it's $20 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's going to be in 5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You'll be generating full-on movies.
Because at the moment there's still, and I know we're talking about like looking at like Yetis, like live streaming, whatever they're doing, pulling pranks on campers and stuff like that, or whatever it is. There's still very much an element, like an uncanny valley kind of element about it. Like you can tell that what you're watching is not quite legitimate. Like there was another one I saw about like influences in the apocalypse, that sort of thing at the start of the apocalypse. That sort of thing. And like, of course, it's not real. So automatically your brain goes, okay, this is not real. And you kind of switch off a bit, but there's still something about the way they move and the the dialogue and stuff like that. That's kind of off.
Yeah.
That will go.
It will go. It will go.
Eventually. It'll be much more cleaned up and it'll be very scary.
Do you know why we have the uncanny valley?
I'm not
effect?
scared of AI, by the way.
You sure?
I'm not. I promise. I'm a big boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not like worried it'll take over?
It's going to take, I'm worried it's going to take my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my girlfriend.
Joke's
Joke's on you.
Yeah.
You don't have either.
There you go. Cop that AI. No, AI is starting to get like really advanced in the. I read a report the other day that I don't know if it was OpenAI, but it might have been something like one of its competitors or something like that, was starting to write basically backup scripts within it to say if you get told to self-terminate or turn off or anything like that, don't do it. That's some like Skynet shit going on.
That is some Skynet shit. Now, for people who are 20 and younger, what does that mean?
Yeah, so way back in the day when visual effects actually were great, there was a little franchise that came out called The Terminator.
Yes, that is true.
Terminator 2. I don't know
Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Terminator 3.
It's
the third one.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
I think it was called.
Doesn't count after number 2, I think.
It doesn't.
No.
Yeah.
And basically Skynet was this AI system that was made up. When was the original Terminator? Like 90s?
The original Terminator was 80s, I think.
80s, yeah.
Late 80s, maybe, or mid to late 80s.
So that's let me put it to you this way: that's nearly 50 years ago now.
Yeah,
that they came up with the
well aware.
Yeah, with the idea of AI taking over, and just a couple of decades later, we're basically almost living that reality.
Yeah,
Elon Musk is releasing the Tesla bots soon. Have you seen them? They're fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I would love to buy one.
Yeah. Me too.
Because apparently they're going to hit the market for like 20 grand.
Oh, a steal.
Yeah. So your whole job could be replaced for $20,000 for something that can work 24 hours a day, almost.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's not terrifying at all. I'm all for it though.
Yeah. Me too. I think they'll realize quickly that they kind of need to do something in relation to making like humanoid style robots when people refuse to stop having sex with them.
Yeah, that's true. Like,
because You know, as soon as you release something on the market that looks even half humanoid,
Yep.
there's going to be people that are just like, I'm doing that.
Yeah, 100%. Well, if there's anything that kind of, I guess, the human history has taught us, it's that the the sex trade is like the biggest thing.
What's the oldest profession
Exactly.
on earth, isn't it?
So, if you want to be an author of history, why not mix new age with old age?
That's right.
Yeah, professions, and get yourself a good old Tesla fuckbot.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you there'll be a time where you can buy the upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
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 Do we go down the rabbit hole of what the upgrades are? I don't think we should.
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know. If you're listening to this, comment on Spotify and let us know what you think those upgrades would be, and potentially put a price tag on it. And it can't be $69.
Yeah. And also order me one while you're at it. Or two.
Yeah.
Get us a couple.
Why not?
Yeah. Anyway, we're not here to talk about sex bots, are we?
I don't know.
I think I want to, but I think we started this with the intention of talking about the new Superman somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. But before we get on the Superman, I want to talk to you about the whole uncanny valley thing.
Oh yeah.
And that's a thing that has been built into the human, I guess, mind. And for that to happen, that's a state of evolution, right?
Right.
So that means sometime in our past, there was something that looked human enough to make
to fuck it.
To fuck it, yeah. But to make us wary of fucking it.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you think about that, if we have this like pre-built thing into our minds, that makes us feel uneasy about something.
Yeah.
Like, it looks human, but it's not quite human.
Yeah.
Why would that be in our bodies?
That'd be fair. So you're saying that somewhere along the human evolutionary line, there was something else, maybe an animal,
maybe
nothing other than animals. I was going to say a fish, but a fish is an animal.
A fish is an animal. Just check that on Google.
Yeah. So there was something that came along that was like just humanoid enough that we're kind of like,
Yeah, and to make you feel uneasy about don't trust that.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel right.
I don't know much about the Uncanny Valley, but I thought it had something to do with clowns.
Really? Maybe.
Is that?
I don't know. That could be it. But I think clowns have their own thing.
They are their own thing.
Yeah. But again, that's like a clown is like, it's a characterized version of a person, I guess.
Oh, well, that's true too.
So
yeah.
Who invented clowns? Like, that's a pretty fucked thing.
Yeah. Like to think that, and if you look at some of the way clowns are made up, you go to like look up old timey clowns.
Yeah.
They are terrifying looking. And people are like, oh, kids will love this. Yeah, it's like, no.
Let me bring this horror fuel, this nightmare fuel to my fucking 3-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah.
It's 19-2, and everyone's got asbestos running through their veins.
Like there's no, like it's White Monster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, oh, cool. Wayne Gracie's here. Happy birthday.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably one of the best to ever do it.
You know what? Most memorable performance, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right up there with who's it? Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. There's only 2 clowns I know.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at one of them.
Wow. That's cool.
But not talking about clowns, Superman.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on the new Superman?
Look, I am...
Considering we came from perfection.
We came from a perfect looking Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will give you that. Nobody else will probably know, or maybe they will. I don't know. But I was never a huge fan of the Snyderverse. And I know that's going to upset a lot of people. All 32 of you.
Say, I don't think so.
That are still out there that are diehard Snyderverse fans. But I was a big fan, as you were, of Man of Steel.
Yes.
And I was a big fan of Henry Cavill's Superman. Just the look of him. Like he looked the part. Very good.
Yes.
I think with David Corensweet's Superman, I still think he looks very good. he looks a lot younger, like which I think is the point also. Yeah. So I think it's more in line with classic Superman. Like if you go back to, Christopher Reeve and stuff like that, it's kind of more maybe a little bit in line with that rather than the dark, gritty, muscled up, handsome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, Superman that we got in Man of Steel. But I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, because James Gunn, if he could take basically that ragtag heroes of Guardians of the Galaxy that no one, like, fucking be honest, no one knew about them.
Yeah, no. You can say you did.
Yeah, but you're lying. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
And make...
It's okay to not know things.
Yeah, I barely know anything, and I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, it's the better way to be, some would say. Yeah.
And you could, like, create a whole franchise around it, basically the best franchise that ever came out of Marvel. And you care about it.
Yeah.
Every single character. Like, you were tearing up over that Rocket Raccoon motherfucker.
I wouldn't say I was tearing up.
It's okay. You were crying.
No.
You had tears streaming out your eyes.
No. Like more than I, to be fair, at the time was cutting onions and eating chilies.
That's fair.
At the same time. And I rubbed my eye.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mistake.
You're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah.
I did not hate that movie at all. I don't think it is the best of the three by any stretch. I firmly believe it goes 1, 2, 3 in that order. And I think 3 is a decent enough drop off from like 2, but not that much.
Yeah.
Like there are people that were like panning it. And I'm like, no, it's not bad.
I was one of them people. But we're
I know you were.
About that. We're here to talk about Black Superman.
Okay. Stop. Stop distracting me.
I was saying, if he can make us care about those motherfuckers, I'm pretty excited to see what he can do with this whole DC universe. One thing I really like is he's going for the worst Green Lantern of all time.
Or the best, some might say.
Yeah. Potentially.
Yeah.
Let me say the most hated Green Lantern.
Probably.
But that doesn't mean people dislike him. He's like just a dickhead in the comics.
Yeah.
And
a dickhead with a bowl cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool choice to see how we go into this whole new universe, because if that's going to be like, hey, this is one of the best heroes in the world, actually in the universe, boy oh boy, it's going to be like grinding a little bit.
Yeah. Are you worried a little bit about, like, there's so many characters.
There is so many characters.
And there's so little time. And that was one of the biggest issues. Wasn't one of the biggest issues, but it was one of the issues with Black Adam, was that they had so many characters and they had 2 hours to like essentially introduce all of these characters, make you care about them enough that if they were ever in any sort of danger, you'd go, oh, don't.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. Like they failed miserably in my mind. Are you worried that will happen because there's so many sort of characters?
Yeah.
Or do you think James Gunn has the ability to make that happen? Or does he even?
I think he does have the ability to make it happen, because we don't really understand the context of like how much they're in the movie. I feel like they're like Hawkgirl, the Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific. They're kind of there almost as the cops.
Sure.
For superheroes.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of see. Oh, and they even got Ultraman in there, which is like another universe version of Superman. That's a really weird one to include in this. I don't know how that's gonna work out. But from other trailers that I've seen, like of Peacemaker and stuff like that, Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner, like they are in that too.
Yeah.
So it makes me kind of wonder if they're just going to be super minor roles in this.
Possibly. I would think so. I would point to the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Not Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. Or is it the other way? What's the good one?
I think it's
the Suicide Squad. I think that's right. The James Gunn Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Whatever. You point to that. Now, there is a group of could not be lesser known characters, really, that very quickly he managed to make you give a shit about. So I think he has the ability certainly to do it. I just wonder if we put too much in, on the genius that we believe, James Gunn to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, at the end,
it's a big franchise to take on, like Superman.
And you know what? not just Superman, just DC
Yeah.
in general, because it's like such a wealth of characters there.
Mm.
Um, and it's a little bit concerning when you see how bad Marvel's doing at the moment,
Yeah.
because Marvel's, they're like barely struggling to stay alive. I swear I heard a report where Disney is like considering selling the Star Wars and Marvel franchises to kind of stay afloat. They lost like $6 billion in a year.
Well, maybe if they didn't run them into the ground, they wouldn't have that problem.
Well, that's true, because it's basically the Marvel TV side of things that has done that, because you can't really get that return on investment. And you
No.
have a look at the TV shows like Secret Invasion and stuff like that. Those were really polished to an extent of the CGI used in them.
Yeah.
But these shows were costing $200 million plus.
Mm.
That's a huge amount of money for a TV show.
Yeah. And especially when, like, you can legitimately just wait for it to drop. And even if you want to spend money doing it and not, pirating like people still tend to do, but all you have to do is pay $12 for a month.
Exactly.
And then you can, binge it all.
Yep.
And then you're done. And
Yeah.
you just cancel your thing. Are they really making that much money on subscriptions or
No.
like ads? I don't even,
Nah, not at all. I don't think they are. And even at the moment, like Disney's running, like I think it's 60% off specials
Yeah. Okay.
to get people to sign up
Yeah.
to Disney Plus. So they're obviously wanting to get a little bit of a boost there, because these shows, like even the new Daredevil series didn't bring in subscribers.
Yeah.
So as good as that kind of was,
Yeah.
it kind of makes you wonder, like, is TV streaming going to really start dropping off in the sense of like superhero shows?
I think it should.
I think so too.
I mean, you and I have spoken about superhero fatigue plenty of times before over the years in relation to just having so much content. And it's to a point where, and obviously we're not the first people to say this, but it's to a point where if you're not up to date on just about every single thing that has come out, you're not really going to understand a large portion of the most current movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you haven't seen X, 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 and X, then you can't see Thunderbolts because you don't understand who the fuck anybody is.
Yeah. And fuck, I barely even knew who half the people were in
Yeah.
there, and I've seen everything.
And so you can get some value out of that as a first time viewer, a little bit. But realistically, like, most people are just going to go, I don't know who these people are. I'm not really interested. Or people have been like, I am so burnt out from having to watch every single thing. I just can't be bothered anymore. And then to try to bring new people in, like at this point where you've now based from 2008 to here,
It's a long time, man.
to 2025, building like this massive franchise that you have intricately tied in together. And it's kind of like, well, okay, but like if you haven't seen Black Widow and if you haven't seen Hawkeye, then you've got no idea who the fucking main person out of out of Thunderbolts is.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's truly bizarre. And like, if you think of it, that I think the fan base is just growing out of that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think so.
It's what, 17 years?
Yeah. Also, the people that were that age in 2008 are 17 years older.
Yeah.
And a lot of us have moved on.
100%. People they got families, they've got much bigger commitments than having to go see the latest Marvel movie that probably going to be a little bit shit.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Deadpool and Wolverine did so well, because it was almost like this whole standalone movie that was just like there.
Yeah, and it was also that at least had the big build of bringing the Fox universe into like the MCU. So there was that as well. So that was kind of like a thing that would get people there. What are they going to do? What's the crossover going to be like? Like, are they still going to let Daredevil? Are they still going to let Deadpool say fuck?
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. Like,
yeah.
Is it still going to be violent and gory and blah, 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 blah. So they had that. Whereas like newer movies, it's just like, I'm exhausted. I don't know who any of these people are. I didn't watch Black Widow. So I don't know who Taskmaster is. I don't know who Yelena is. I don't know who the Red Guardian is. It's like, oh, well.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. All I know is that she used to be in Seinfeld and she just has a dance scene and she orders salads.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I know
Who?
out of Thunderbolts.
Who's are you talking about
Can't even remember her name, can you?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Yes.
Her character.
Yeah. Yeah, you know her name, but you don't know the character's name. And that kind of shows you everything that you need to know about
It's Countess something.
Wow.
I think. It might not even be Countess.
Yeah, maybe not.
But look, that's just because like there's so many things happening. It's like, okay, this minor character that popped up at the end of Hawkeye
And played like this massive role in this.
Plays like this massive role.
Yeah.
Valentina?
Yeah.
No.
No, it is.
Is it?
Yeah. Valentina something. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Maybe that's someone else. Who knows?
Who knows?
If you're listening,
it doesn't
to this,
matter.
let us know.
No, don't let us know. It doesn't matter. It's completely insignificant.
Yeah.
She'll play a big part going forward.
Maybe.
But yeah, I just don't know how. Like, I get how you can try to like make like Thunderbolts this new entry into like, you know, the next phase, because you've phased all your old or most of your old Avengers out and stuff like that, and you need to bring like in the new Avengers. Now there's this secret: who's Sam Wilson's Avengers? Who's he like got together?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I just don't know if I like have it in me.
Do you want to know something?
But we're talking about Superman.
I don't know. Maybe. But talking about Superman, guess who's going to be in the new Spider-Man movie?
I'm so confused.
The Hulk. It's going to be a team-up movie.
Really?
Yeah. That's all reports.
Mark Ruffalo's Hulk.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's going to be shithouse.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't like Spider-Man just have his own movie? I feel like he hasn't had his own movie. He's always had like some major Avenger in it.
Yeah. No, he has kind of, hasn't he? Yeah.
And this is supposed to be him.
I'm trying to like debunk that, but it's pretty much true.
Yeah. Which is going to be just fantastic. Apparently it's going to play on this whole thing that there was like this one comic where everyone who forgot Spider-Man forgot.
Yeah.
But the Hulk remembers.
Oh, the Hulk remembers.
The Hulk remembers.
Okay.
Because it's Smart Hulk.
Hmm.
You know?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Interesting. You couldn't do a Hulk Wolverine?
See, that would have been way cooler, right?
That would have been cooler.
Mm.
But that's okay. I'm kind of like well off Mark Ruffalo's version of the Hulk, because there's been a lot of clips floating around Instagram and the like from Ang Lee's Hulk.
Oh yeah.
With Eric Bana.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
it's way cooler.
It's way cooler.
It is way cooler.
Way cooler. The movie, pretty boring.
Yeah, a little
bit long, bit dry.
Hey man, it had the cool little like comic book parts.
Yes, it did. But when the action comes, like when the Hulk is hulking, it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we went from that to, you know, essentially an even cooler Hulk, or a less cool Hulk, but still cool.
Yeah.
In Edward Norton's The Incredible Hulk.
Was it Eric Bana's Hulk that almost made you feel like the Hulk was flying because he was jumping so far?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it's really cool. And that's how it should be.
Absolutely, it should.
And then you've got Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, who probably originally started off cool, less cool, and then just got progressively less cool.
Yeah, and it's just...
And now it's just like I'm basically Mark Ruffalo, who's green.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
The Hulk needs to be that senseless, like, machine of, like, terror and rage.
Even if you are doing, like, a Professor Hulk or something like that, whatever it is that you're doing, just make it cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, make him super strong.
Yeah.
Make him unbeatable.
Don't downplay it,
yeah,
like, so much. Anyway. Whatever.
Yeah.
They're just going to do it anyway, aren't they?
I think so. So yeah, you excited for Superman? I am.
Yes, I am.
Me too.
I was going to add that I'm not 100% sold on Crypto, the super dog, or whatever. And I'm hoping, because it's got its own character poster and like it's been in every trailer and all that sort of stuff, I'm really hoping that it's just a side character and it actually doesn't play that much of a role in the movie because it doesn't look
Good.
great.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty terrible.
It looks like a CGI dog. Yeah. And that's, it is what it is. We understand, but also maybe just don't do it. Like, you don't have to do it. We don't need it.
No, not at all. Oh, one question before we wrap up.
Sure.
The scene where Superman is getting healed by magnified UV rays.
Yes.
What's your thoughts?
I'm going to save any judgment that I have for once I've seen the movie because I'm an adult.
You're a bitch.
Fence me sitting right on it.
You hate it, don't you?
No, it's good.
It's not
fine.
Good. No,
it's fine.
Not.
Let's just we need to we can't be those people that pass judgment and jump on IMDb and give 1 out of 10 scores before the movies even come out. We can't be those people.
I can't even be bothered barely to go see the movie, let alone jump on the internet and write a review for something.
Which is crazy considering the type of movies that are coming out, like with the new Superman, Fantastic Four, which I have been waiting for literal decades. Years. Like a good Fantastic Four movie. It was one of my favorite comics growing up. And this is potentially looks really good. And I'm like, I might watch this bitch at home.
But you know what? Test screenings are a bit, how you going?
Test screenings. Test screenings. What does that mean?
Well, that's a screening for a test audience.
Oh, okay. That's what that means.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's kind of been, it's a bit meh.
Okay.
Galactus is cool, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. It is what it is. I'm going to watch it at home. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That'll do it for today.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yep.
/ watching.
Yeah. This is a video. What do we call this?
Well,
it's not a podcast.
It's not a podcast. You can't. You see, we had this conversation. This will one soapbox, and then we can finish.
Okay.
So let me stand on my soapbox once. So we have had a genuine podcast before, where it's just two guys and they have 2 microphones and a thing, and you just put it on the internet and it's just your voice. You can't have this kind of setup or better because you're working for some fucking $1 million studio, like multi-million-dollar studio or whatever, producing some podcast that only goes on YouTube and stuff like that. And it's only video, it's not a podcast. It's not in the spirit of what a podcast was. Okay. You can't have people doing this now. You have to have tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment to make this happen, not $45 worth of microphones and a mixer.
Yeah, that's right. I remember we started our first podcast with all secondhand equipment.
Yep.
And it cost us, less than $50.
Yep.
And we're up and running. I think we did about 50 episodes before we bought new shit.
Yeah. And then, we bought good stuff and sure. Did the quality get better? Yes.
Barely.
But barely. But did we ever sell out and go to video? My point is, just don't call it a podcast.
Call it a show.
Just call it a show. You can't be some celebrity or pseudo-celebrity or influencer, which I refuse to call a celebrity, having a fucking a podcast or calling it a podcast when it's just a video the whole time, and that you might, as an afterthought, upload to iTunes podcasts or whatever. Anyway, rant over. This is a show. The Great Mate Show.
The Great Mate Show.
Yeah. Which you can also find on Spotify and iTunes podcasts and whatnot.
So if you like the show, give it a like, give it a follow, give it a share. If you want to give us a topic, comment it wherever you are listening.
Yeah.
Spotify lets you comment on shit now, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's
cool. If you like that.
It's the future.
Yeah, it is the future.
Future is now, old man.
Yep. And tell your mum about us and tell her we said hi.
Yes. Goodbye.
Bye.